Well, hello there. Gonna talk a little bit about more going to the Philippines. It's at my house. A little bit of snow. Not a lot. All I wanted to talk about today is a little bit of my expenses that I think I told you about the passport thing. That's $210. Well, I think I'll back out of the snow. Still snowing a little bit. Wonderful place because you get to snow. Well, I went and show you kind of next door. I live across the street from the county fairgrounds. St. John's, Arizona. Cool place. See you next door. I have, nobody there. It's kind of ranch property. So it's kind of secluded from everybody. And I got a seating area out here with mist sprayers for summer, so I can watch all the action going on at the baseball parks over here during the summertime. It's really a pretty cool place. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today was traffic going by in the wet ground, making tire noises. Like I said, it's $210 for the passport. Takes about 2 months to get it. I'll really get on the stick once that arrives. And let me go in here and see what I can get going here. Because this is my utility room in the house. In the house. So what I got to do is that. I'm trying to remember what else I did. At the passport. Well, I know airfares. I've been checking into those. Pretty wild. Watching politics on TV. I think I'll shut that down for now. I'm sure you don't want to hear about stuff. It's the 3rd of January 2023. And what I'm going to do is park here for a second. Then I'm going to let you know what's going on. So I'll be right back, okay? Okay, here we are again. Just wanted to let you know what I was doing. I'm just goofing around today because it's snowing outside, so I'm not going to go to the parks or anything, or the lake. So I wanted to let you know about airfares and stuff. It's like $2,200 from where I'm at, leaving Show Low, Arizona, which is 25 miles from here, one of the closest areas, the closest airport. Actually, I have an airport across the street, but it's a industrial one. And that's where you fly out of there, and it flies into Phoenix, then it flies to Los Angeles, then it flies to Hawaii, and then it goes over here, and then Philippines. But $2,280. Round trip until September. September I researched and found $889. And you got to buy a round trip ticket or a continuance ticket. Say if you want to go to Taiwan or something like that, which I probably will. I got to find out more about that. But it's in the 800s, under 900 if you wait till September and book then, or book before September for September. Now that's okay. I'm into that. I'm not into that $2,300 thing. But I listened to Old Dog New Tricks. He's a blogger. Actually, he's a YouTuber. Really nice old guy. And he gave out some prices. He's got a very informative website there. Go ahead and go and look up Old Dog Philippines. Old Dog New Tricks. And he gives interviews to people. They tell what their experiences were coming in. He's been there over 5 years, so he's got experiences. He's moved all around. He's got baby May, and she gives out some information too, and they could give you an idea on what's going on getting to the Philippines once you're there. And he does give a little bit of talk about what got him there and how he got there, which is really cool. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start from scratch, because before, when he went over there over 5 years ago, he wasn't YouTubing or anything. He didn't have a channel. There wasn't anything like that going on, really. So I just decided, well, I'm going to be the guy that starts it over here, takes information from everybody there, and then tell everybody what I'm going through step by step here. And about driver's licenses, you know, you got 90 days when you get over there to use your driver's license. I haven't got the visa thing down yet. You got to remember, when I went, I think I told you in my last little practice thing, and I'm still practicing. I just barely got and downloaded an edit app, which was really cool, but you got to practice with that too. And I kind of messed it up. I practiced on my old video, and I'm going to erase the other one and upload that one if I get a chance, but it's been messing up. I think it has to do with my Wi-Fi here. I don't think, because it sits there and does glitches, I get my little temporary circle, and I lose things. It's kind of frustrating. I mean, all these older people that have been doing this for a long time are probably laughing, going, "Oh yeah, do this, do that," and well, I'm getting it, and I'll get it. It's trial by error. And the last time I went to the Philippines, like I kind of mentioned it in my very first video, that I didn't need a passport. No, all you needed was your driver's license. You go to Mexico, you go anywhere you want to go, and just needed ID. And that's all. There was no COVID things and checks, and seats were much bigger. And I remember the air flight and all the air flights I was on to get there. It's a long ways. It's anywhere from 24 to 40 some odd hours, depending on what you spend on. You can buy an expensive ticket to get there quicker. Now, of course, I'm not going to be in any hurry, but it's so I'll take the cheaper ticket and take the flight. But the seats were much bigger. The planes were only half full at the time. They served you cocktails, free, food, free. You got up and walked around. You could take a window seat wherever one was empty, which there was always empty seats. You didn't have to sit where you didn't want to sit, or if you met somebody on the flight, you wanted to go sit with them. Hey, that was no problem. You could move seats. Things are a little different today. And I have to get used to it. You got to get this and get that. I had to get the new driver's license with my upgraded sticker on it, and so I could travel. And I've only used that once, and you got to have it. Got to have your COVID shot. I got that when I got my passport. I got that, and then went over and got my passport started. So all that's in the works. And now I'm having big problems with, I usually list a lot of things on Craigslist and all that, and Craigslist is not accepting my real estate stuff. And I sold a few houses on Craigslist without using realtors, or now I'm going to have to go over to Zillow. I don't know what Craigslist is doing. I think it's their year end. We've changed everything now. I listed my cabin property multiple times, and it kept removing. What is it doing? Why? And then I changed the phone number, because my phone number is different than my zip code for my address here. So I figured, well, there's a glitch. It isn't matching. I think they're trying to figure out how to get rid of bot activity and scammers and all that other stuff. Zillow's running into scammers right now. And it's becoming a real problem. And I think Craigslist is changing their formats and all that for security because of that. And that's nice. I don't mind that. It's just when you go to get, you find out you're dumped, removed, you go on there and try to find out why. Well, you can't find out why. I just wish they would highlight something and say, well, this word's wrong. You can't use gender, you can't use age, you can't use preferences, you can't use... I did many years ago, I've been using Craigslist thousands of times over the past 5 years. When I lived down in Reno and was selling stuff down there, I started it, and yeah, you ran into things. I go, what the heck's wrong with this? Well, back up behind me on my fireplace mantle, I had an old license plate from Florida when I moved up from Florida. And you could see it. That was the problem. You can't see license plates, addresses. They don't want you to put anything on there to identify so somebody can look it up, because these days everybody can just grab a number and look it up. So I learned all that over there. And locations, they don't like to do that. I just couldn't find. I went and changed these ads over and over and over again. And I'm kind of flustered with it. I don't have no way to find it out. So now I'm probably going to use the Facebook shopping thing for your area, which I'm not on Facebook, so I got to sign up for that and get that started. So I got lots of odds and ends. One of them's this drum set I got behind me. This is the most important item I own. It'll be the last thing I sell, except my car, because I think I'm going to drive my car over to Show Low when I get on an airplane, and I'm going to stay a few days in Show Low, that's what I was going to do when I got over there, and get on Craigslist and throw my car on there, and it would sell within a couple days. Perfect. Take a little shuttle over to the airport around the corner. Off I go. Last items. Because there's so many items. So many items. And a lot of them mean a lot to me. This drum set, man, I'll tell you, when I get to the Philippines, I just started playing drums a few years ago, and I'm hooked on it. I've got 5 or 6 songs all down to pat, ready to go. I can play them anywhere. I love them. Shania Twain song, I got that one. Popular songs, and I just don't know if I can go without having drums around me for very long. In my house here, I can play them. I've never been able to play drums my whole life. I always lived around neighbors or something. And here, I don't have any. I can play drums, I can put up music, I sing to all my drums. Every song I've got, I sing the song. That's up to the beauty of the beholder. If you think it's a good song and I'm not killing it, and nobody's ever heard me play. There is one person on earth that's heard me play yet. I got some ladies that come over once in a while, and they stand right over there, right in front of the drums. And before they go out the door, I say, here, let me play this for you. Go back over there. And they stand right there, and they don't hear nothing. They go, all I hear is bang, bang, bang. Well, okay, because you're standing right next to it. And so one day, I know before I go, I'm going to have to hold some kind of little preview and show people what I've been working on for like 3 years. And anyway, I think the expenses are going to be fine. Now, I'd love to sell my house today. I got one person in the distance that actually discussed price with me. And I'm not going to, and I told her, I says, I really don't want to sell it till midsummer, late summer before I leave in my cabin. I want to get that going right away. Everything has to go in order or I'm going to end up on the streets, spending extra money on expensive hotels and and rental cars. And so I got to do everything in order. And I don't know if you've watched the housing market around the United States. Now, I'm not in Phoenix, so I'm not getting killed like Phoenix. But as I watch Zillow, my house has depreciated $5,000 in the last 2 months. Yikes! You know, if I calculate that into a year, which is it's about 9 months before I'm going to be ready to book, maybe I will sell it now. I don't know. I've gone through this housing market. I've owned 60 properties in my life. Bought them in bad times, sold them in good times. This time I'm not playing that game. And then I'd leave some behind because I wanted to move. And then I move somewhere and list them on something or hand them to a realtor, which, I hate to do. I've lost every time I gave it to them except for one I sold in Florida. She actually got me an asking price. The rest of them all come in with offers and this and that. And so I go, I don't think I'm going to. And then you got commissions. Ooh, okay. But I'm in closing costs. And everything I own debt-free. I don't have a debt in my life. I pay a utility bill at this house. My insurance company just mailed me a deal and doubled it. Suckers. I hate insurance companies. Once again, when I went to the Philippines last time, came back, I was living in Boise, Idaho at the time, I believe. I just moved out of California. That was in the early 70s, mid-70s. And still in the mid-70s, we didn't have mandatory auto insurance. I mean, ever since then, they threw in that mandatory thing, and I've been rebelling ever since. It sucks. Mandatory this, mandatory that. Hey, you got to pay this. I don't mind paying the fee, but don't tell me I have to. And I don't believe in divorces. Never been married. Everybody around me has been through multiple divorces. And they come chasing me down all around the U.S. Hey, what are you doing, man? After 20, 30 years or 10 years, it started way back when. And so I hide my address. Because they're going to end up in my front yard. And so in the Philippines, hey, you can't get a divorce there. I believe until death do you part. So do they. You can't argue with people over there. Everybody's got a grin on their face. If you argue, you're going to get your passport yanked or your visa yanked. They don't put up with that there. You go to a vendor or somebody serves you something and you can question them, but don't get up and argue in their face, start pointing in their face and giving them problems, because the cops are going to end up coming in and pulling your visa. You can't do that. Even with a girlfriend or a wife when they're at home. I totally agree with this. I've watched this stuff go on my whole life in the United States. Your wife does something you don't like and you get a little argument with her and start screaming at her, or your girlfriend, she can go out on the street in the Philippines, go down and report you, and you're going to get arrested and they're going to pull your visa. It's not allowed there. And I worship women, and I'm not really into the Philippine women. I was into them when I was in my 20s. But I just love their attitude. Even when they're in their 40s or so, or 50s, they just these people, I've been to Guatemala, Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica. I have a property in Costa Rica, a small thing. But I always loved going there when I was stressed in business. I would get a whole different attitude. These people have nothing. They're considered poor. And they're all happy. The poorer they are, the bigger grins they got on their face. I just think that's awesome. And every time I'd come back, I'd have a different look on life. I was the best guy to buy interiors from at that time because I wanted to give everything away. Just see people's smiles on their face. So that's pretty much the lifestyle I've led through my whole life. Was just, if people were kind of having problems with this, maybe they wanted to buy something like property or something like that, and I had enough to finance it for them, I'd do it. And they'd be happy. Happy people. But as soon as the attitude changes and people kind of get problems in their life, normally known as baggage, they drag this around with them, and I have to get away from them. It's just not part of my life. So I'm just going to take all this with me to the Philippines because that's me. The Philippines are me. And I love the water and the ocean and tropical. And oh, I just love that stuff. And hanging out in restaurants and food vendors up and down the streets. And it's my game. I mean, last time when I was there, we didn't have motorcycle tri-bike transportation. We had little rickshaws with a guy toting it around. So you couldn't go a long distance. Otherwise, they had a mule or something pulling it, or a horse. And now they got the little scooters running everywhere for a couple bucks. So this is up my alley. This is like, things have come along there. As long as China doesn't whack Taiwan and then move itself over to Philippines, which is what they did last time. Not they didn't, Japan did it. And then we went and rescued them in World War II. And there's a lot of leftover stuff from World War II there. People and mixed people, and I don't know. I'm going to enjoy it. It's this process of getting there. I've never been anywhere where I'd go on a 2-week vacation, a cruise or something, and come home. This isn't like that. I'm not going to be leaving anything here. When I go, I'm going to have my email address, and hopefully I don't know, I guess I can carry over and download stuff and continue a video, but up till then I'm going to try to keep up on this and try to get my editing right. And I don't know. You can't even leave a pencil here. You're not coming back. Your attentions are not going to come back. But I plan on going to Mexico. I want to hop around first before I jump a plane over there. Just to hang out a little bit and kind of take short flights and kind of practice a little bit. And then take my flight over. There's so many things to figure out, but I don't want to leave anything here at all. I've always left things behind because I wake up in the morning and go, time to move. It's been my lifestyle. I go to a place and I've kind of been pretty much retired since 1993. And I started moving to every place I wanted to go on a bucket list, I went. And I would experience everything in that area. And I had ways to make money in the interior business just dropping into town. It was a wanted thing. And I've done many, many other things and talents. I was a fishing guide. I'm going to get into all that later down the road. But I just wanted to let you know what I was doing because I haven't done this in a little bit because I've been playing with that other video, which was only half done. If you ever watch it, Skipper Doodle 69. Yeah, do a like and a subscribe if you can, because I'll tell you what, that's going to help like crazy to get anything done. And subscribe. And I just need some encouragement to keep going because I'm starting to run into brick walls all the way across this thing, and holdups here and holdups there, and real estate might start going down, and I got to switch things back and forth. I'm trying to get my Social Security up. I haven't taken any yet. I turn 70 in another year and a half. So I'm going to take that. I want to get it started or get things done. All that stuff has to get done before you go. Really tough to get it done when you're over there, from what I hear. And listening to Old Dog and all the people he talks to, pick up on his channel. Him and Baby May. It's a great existence for them. And the advice they give out already has saved me a ton of time and stress. And it does get stressful because things just don't go smooth. And it's such a long time till you're leaving. And you want to do everything right so you don't get held up and you don't lose money on the way. When you got assets, these are part of your monies and things, you don't want to lose, because every time you lose $5,000, wow, that's almost a year of expenses in the Philippines. See? So I actually don't have expenses here. Everything's paid for. I pay utilities and stuff here, and it's really cheap. As you see, it snowed outside, and sometime it'll go down to 0 at night. My highest utility bill here, because I have an ETS heating system. That thing over against the wall, that's where a fireplace was. That runs off of the energy bill during prime times and off prime times, and it does it all computerized to your box. And it stores stuff up to 3 days in that heater. So it really, $100 has been, $110 was my highest bill since I've been in this house, which is almost 4 years now. And because I had renters in here, and then I decided to go in and move from my cabin down here. And because it was so cheap. Property tax, I think it went up this year. It was $320. Yikes! Woo! Where are you going to find that? My monthly expense is right in the mid threes. 300, not 3,000. And all the rest of the money I make or whatever I do is all go out and play. But I've gone every direction around here. And that's why I came here. And when my dog died 3 years ago, I just kind of put the locks on it and said, now you got to figure out what you're going to do. And I've traveled everywhere. I had a motorhome. I traveled with my dog all over the place. One direction there, one week at a time every month I took off. Normal retirement type stuff. Well, I'm done. And there's no oceans. There's lakes all around here, and I do them. But I really need to go over and get in the tropical thing again. I did Florida for a long time, 7 years, and did all the tropical stuff there you could ever do. It was fish charter here. Played Forrest Gump and got me a shrimp boat. And did shrimping for a while. Great thing. And then I turned it into a grouper boat. And then I went and turned it into a mullet boat. You know? But that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, shrimp boat looked just like his, just a little smaller. Old beater, just to go out and do shrimping and give me and a couple of my buddies some work to do. We'd go out late at night and come back 3 in the morning and sell all the shrimp. The buyers are waiting at the docks from restaurants in New York. We throw them on dry ice. They ship to New York and throw them in a aquarium, and then the shrimp would come back alive again because it put them to sleep, layering them in newspaper and dry ice. So the buyers could ship it, go to the airport and ship it up there real quick. But anyway, I'm going to let it go for now because this went on a little longer. And that's going to go longer because once I get my editing down, I'm having problems downloading because of my internet speed off of my Wi-Fi here. So I'm finding all these things out, and a lot of people that don't do this don't run into those, I don't think. But I got to find a way around it and start getting my things together. And I'm going to start working on that stuff. But I wanted to get this one done just so you could see where I'm at. Subscribe. Like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But all I'm going to try to do is get going here. And man, I'll tell you what, I wish I could find a lady companion that wanted to move over there. And we could work on this together, but I'm by myself. So I'm going to work on getting it. But if there's a lady companion out there in the United States that's working on it too, look me up. I'm at Springding 1489 at Springding 1489 at yahoo.com. Yeah, throw me an email, Springding 1489 at yahoo.com. And I'll try to answer anybody's questions and stuff. I'm just kind of fumbling around, kicking things around, falling on my face, getting back up again. Hey, part of the excitement and the progress of doing this. And I actually got it better than a lot of guys that I've listened to, because there's a lot of people got blogs out there about this. Anyway, I gotta let you go because I don't know if this is going to run much longer. I might overload my whole system trying to download this. But anyway, I'm going to head off to edit. And one day, I'm going to play these. They don't sound very good over here, but I'm going to try to do an intro on these. Introduction before my channel comes on. I might get into that just to get it on record. But anyway, we'll talk to you later, and you have a good one.